Hello and welcome to SchezzWho, Hampton Roads top spot for politics. We talk about a lot of things here at SchezzWho. We talk about Virginia Beach politics, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Portsmouth. Of course, I live in Portsmouth, and tonight we're going to have on another great Portsmouth candidate. But before I get to all that, I want to shout out that what makes this channel even possible in the first place, including Andrea Dixon, my awesome, lovely wife, who now has a cool kick-ass job in Richmond, working for the state government. So great things are on her horizon, and I'm glad she helped me create this channel. So of course, love you, proud of you. Also, my good friend, Miss Ellen, over at Ellen's Homestyle and Barbecue. You may note that she has a location right here in Portsmouth at 4206 Portsmouth Boulevard, right across from Victory Crossing. So make sure you head on over to there or her other location by chance in Virginia Beach, which is near Regent University across the street. Awesome fried fish and great sides too. So look up Ellen's Homestyle and Barbecue Express. Also want to shout out Mr. Seiko Varner, Positive Vibes Incorporated, because he can help you with credit fixes and tax resolutions and lending private money and debt consolidation. He also created the Hampton Roads Green Book app, which is a great resource to find specific to businesses that are Black and Brown owned. So look that up because I think it'll be a great thing going forward. And also hit up 757-932-0177 if you need any of his monetary services or if you just need a DJ because he's a great DJ. Now, of course, this is Hampton Roads top spot for politics over at SchezzWho. In order to talk about politics, I reach out and bring on some of the great candidates of this cycle. I live in Portsmouth, so of course I'm going to be bringing on a lot of mayor and city council and school board candidates, just like tonight, because tonight's guest is Mia Phillips. And what I want to do right now is bring her on right here. And I want to lead off by A, thanking you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And B, I want you to lead off by just telling us a little bit about yourself, your Portsmouth history, and like your civics history, if you could break that down for us.
Okay, I'm Mia Phillips. I am running for Portsmouth City Council. I have a love for Portsmouth. I grew up being around Portsmouth and just I have a lot of family here, cousins, grandma, granddaddy, just a lot of family here. So I grew up just loving Portsmouth, and I've always had that affinity to Portsmouth. So when I moved here as an adult, I started realizing that nostalgia and some of the things that I saw missing when I was a child, I wanted to see those things come back and see it come to fruition. And I believe that with some changes that could happen. I worked for Verizon for 10 years. I was a former union steward, and that comes with no pay, but you get the opportunity to represent people that work with you that may be afraid to step forward and to voice their opinions about things that are unfair, unjust, and you represent those people. Even as a union member, you step forward and you fight for the things that will benefit you as an employee and for your family. So it just came natural to me to become a union steward. I worked there for 10 years. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't do anything different. I'm currently a builder and a contractor, a Class A contractor. I own a minority company. And we build houses throughout Portsmouth. And my plan is to continue that and to encourage other people to do the same. I'm on the BZA board, and that's the zoning board of appeals. And what that entails is that when we are trying to get developments and building building permits approved, we approve those to make sure that we encourage development, we improve development. So I got on the board to ensure that those things continued because I saw some people being stumped by by that process, or they weren't able to move forward. And so I thought if I got involved, that can encourage that to happen, to encourage people to have their permits approved and developments approved in a swift process without being deterred or wanted to jump to another city. So again, my background is I simply have a love for Portsmouth. I just love Portsmouth. There's something about it. I've
Oh,
lived
we
in
can't
other
take that
cities.
spirit.
I do. I'm sorry. I love Portsmouth. I don't care what other people love their cities, but I love Portsmouth. I lived in Chesapeake. I went to Indian River. Go Braves. I will never let that go. But it is something about Portsmouth. And I think just being here as a child and as an adult, it has not changed for me. That same, I guess you could almost say, not that maybe magic. It still has that little twinkle that I love. And I can't get that from any city. It just has that warmth, and you do not get that from any city.
Now, the reason why I want you to preserve that spirit is because one of the questions I will ask tonight is just break down everything you love about Portsmouth. So before you actually say that, I want you to wait until I ask.
I'm
No,
sorry.
that's cool, man. That's so be toward the end though. So
Okay.
we'll get to that. You also touched on your building history. I want you to save a little bit about that because I will ask about housing and stuff like that. So just be prepared a little later to
Okay.
break into that. First question of the night. I'm a new Portsmouth resident, and I bought a house in the West Haven neighborhood in 2022.
Okay.
But just this January, a shooting happened right on my street, about 30 yards from the house,
Okay.
right in the middle of a nor'easter.
Okay.
And stemming from a sudden argument. I was watching television. I could hear it from outside.
Okay.
2 lives, including an 18-year-old girl, ended up being lost in that. So
Okay.
this by no means is the only violence that this has happened this year in Portsmouth.
Mm-hmm.
You want to overhaul Portsmouth. Does helping safety get included in your vision to overhaul?
First thing is being a part of the process. A lot of us, you're going to get slips in the mail. You'll get mailers saying it's time for jury duty because you vote. So you will get pulled to participate, and this is your civic duty to be a part of upholding the standards of what you expect from Portsmouth. So when you are called to go to jury duty, you need to take it serious. When you have individuals that create heinous crimes for whatever reason, regardless if they didn't think or they acted too fast or whatever caused them to create to commit a crime, yeah, we need to follow that through because when it happens to you or a family member, any type of loved one, your child, your mother, your father, your cousin, your brother, sister, whoever it is, you're going to be drawn to want to resolve that issue. And you are going to want the same type of rally behind you if something happens to you or your family member. So it's our civic duty to follow through at those things. When you're called to jury duty, be a part of it, be a part of the process. You learn how things flow through the process and take it seriously. Again, when people are, if they find that person that commits that heinous crime, and when you pay taxes in your home, you should feel safe. You shouldn't feel as if, okay, I just purchased a home here in Portsmouth. I'm proud. I'm starting to decorate. I'm inviting family and friends. And the last thing you should think is I'm paying taxes and now I hear gunshots. That's a letdown. People may not want to visit you. You may not feel comfortable with your children in the house. You should not have that feeling. So it is the responsibility of our Commonwealth attorney to also follow through with the criminals that commit those acts. We have to hold her accountable. So when those acts are committed, it is to be followed through that they are held to justice, not we can't find the information, or we forgot to send in the information, or we just something happens where the ball is fumbled and continuously you see people being let go. And again, I say when it happens to you or your family member, then people will take it seriously. Don't wait until it happens to you or your family member to say take it seriously. That gunshot that you heard come through your house in West Haven, that could have pierced someone and it would have been a different story. So we don't want to hear that different story. Let's jump on it now. Let's resolve those situations now and stop letting things continue and accepting it as, that's Portsmouth. That's what you hear. I don't want to hear that. I want to see accountability. I do not want to hear that. So hold the people accountable that have been hired to do that job, to do the job. And that is that. When you hire me, when I get hired as a council member, I'm supposed to uphold the ordinance, and I'm supposed to make sure that Portsmouth flourishes. That is my job. That will be my duty. It's not, I don't feel like it today. No, okay. No, it is your job, is what you signed up for. If you do not want to take that seriously, don't sign up for the job. When you run for office, you are telling people that you are going to listen to what's going on and what you hear and what Portsmouth needs, not even if it's even something they don't think about. It is to follow through and take Portsmouth to the top. That is your duty. That's what you're signing up for. And that's what I plan to do. So when it comes to justice, back to your question, when it comes to justice, I expect our Commonwealth attorney and anyone in law enforcement, and they do a great job. But anyone, the Commonwealth attorney, you are to follow through with making sure that justice is had. And so when there's a family member that's affected, they aren't left as, yeah, I lost my loved one. There's nothing we could do about it. And, they dropped the ball and I guess that's it. No one should be left with that feeling. Everyone should be given the same priority, whether you live in a more affluent neighborhood or you don't live in an affluent neighborhood. It should be the same. We all pay taxes. We're all invested in Portsmouth, and we should all be treated the same. We're all human beings and we deserve it. And it should be some sense of empathy for anyone's situation. So we should act accordingly. And I expect that from people that are elected. You signed up for it, so you obviously wanted to do the job. So do the job.
Exactly. We don't want anyone to be there and be lazy.
No, we don't. Because again, if you are, when it happens to your family, a lot of times that's when people get angry. Don't wait to get angry. That's what I have to say about that.
I do have my first comment of the night. I shared this video on a couple of the local Portsmouth groups on Facebook, and I happen to have a Facebook comment from Ms. Danielle Clay. By the way, I do hope that you like and subscribe to the channel, Ms. Danielle Clay, because I want to grow this thing going forward. I will admit personally, I haven't yet been to a Portsmouth forum yet, because I've been to Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, a couple forums, because I took notes. I haven't been to that. So I admit I also haven't been to any forums, but I think she might be curious if you haven't been to some forums yourself.
I have been to forums, and I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of the candidates. Let me say this. As we are all vying for this job to represent the city, although it's a competition, there should be some camaraderie. You can't walk through this process looking at everyone or anyone as a villain or your enemy. When you start sitting amongst the people on that board, there should be some type of camaraderie where you want to work together, because in essence, you have to get things done. And you may have an agenda that you propose and you want them to back you on it. It's all going to be for Portsmouth. So everything should be supported, but you would want that support. So yes, you should go out, and which I've done, is to meet other candidates, and you get to hear things from their perspective, and you just get a chance to meet them. And I think that's important, because you need to develop a sense of, you really need to be friends. You're not going to get anything done by snubbing people or creating this environment of discontent or any unwelcoming or bullying feelings. And let me say this, citizens don't want to see that. Citizens don't want to see another council member bully another council member. It is distasteful, and it turns people off, and it makes people not want to be a part of the process. And it also makes other eyes from other cities look at us and wonder, what's going on over there? I don't want us to do that. So when I see other council members and I see them out, I see them doing good, I give them a hug, because in the end, after November 5th, that is it. And we're all trying to do our best for Portsmouth. So you should come in a manner of love. And again, you're going to be working with these people. So you need to learn how to get along, and it needs to be consistent. Not one day you're on, one day you're off. There's no hot and cold. You need to be consistently trying to work together and make things happen for Portsmouth, because you're not going to get anything, accomplished by being mean or creating a disgruntled environment.
And thank you for that. And again,
Mhm.
thank you, Miss Danielle, for making that question known. Definitely want more people to comment here, question here, and just watch. I really like all that. Next question. Portsmouth is over 50% Black. My wife is Black. As
Mhm.
we grow a Portsmouth life, we think toward family.
Mhm.
But it's hard to consider that in Portsmouth with Black maternity lacking so much great services, like a great hospital for birth. Should City Council work to address that aggressively?
Well, I got to tell you, a lot of things are based on economics. So, yes, we do need to take those things seriously. Your hospital visits, when you go to Maryview Hospital, you should be serviced just the same as if you go to Chesapeake General Hospital. So, yeah, those things need to be looked into, and to make sure that people are given attention. If something happens to you, not only for a woman, but also for men as well. You want to be cared for just as if you went to another city for care. So yeah, you should be expecting that care. You should be giving that care. When doctors and nurses take oaths to make sure that you are cared for and taken care of, and they do their best, they take an oath to do so, and they should stand by that oath. So yeah, we should be expecting and demanding the same type of care that you see from other cities. I would hate to see people deciding to have babies in other cities because they are not getting that care. That's disheartening. We should be getting it from Maryview. We should be getting it from the city that we live within. So yeah, they should be held accountable. Don't We shouldn't have to be forced to go have babies in another city. And people
Right.
should be asking questions. Why? Why are you choosing to have your baby in another city, or having your prenatal care, or any type of follow-ups or checkups in other cities? It should be the same type of care.
Like to hear that. Like to hear that. Regionalism has its proponents and it has its detractors. On City Council, would you prefer to work in conjunction with city leaders across the 757?
You said with civic leaders across the 757.
City leaders across the 757, working with other
Definitely.
mayors and other city council people to get a regional aspect done.
Yeah, definitely. There should be, I say it time and time again, there should be, instead of having this competition with other cities, there should be some type of connection, and you can get so much more stuff done. It shouldn't be, okay, we're doing this, so we're going to do this. It should be, hey, we're going to do this. And if we do this, put this into place, we can use some of your facilities and we can make this happen, and we can work together as a team and grow faster instead of working against each other. No, let's work together. Don't work against each other. When I'm reading things in the paper or hearing it on the news that, okay, they got this and now other cities going to try to do it. No, try to work together or do something different so you'll have that attraction. I mean, I remember as a kid taking the ferry from Portsmouth over to Norfolk, and we would travel back and forth between those two cities. And you had fun in both cities. It didn't seem as much like a competition, or this city was up and this city was down, or this city was down and this city was up. So no, it should be. Let me say this: the cities that are doing well and have it right, we can all learn from each other, all learn from what we're doing well and what we're not doing well. So yeah, you can learn a lot from those cities. Now, I have to say this, even from going into the city council at Newport News, it's a new group up there, and they are doing phenomenal.
Mhm.
There seems to be a sense of camaraderie. It seems to be a sense of teamwork, and they move together. And it's less separate, it's less disjointed, less combative. And I noticed that, and they get things done. So, and I had an experience with that. It was as soon as the council meeting was over, they were, okay, I'll take her. No, I got her. No, you got her. Okay. It was almost a tag team situation, almost like a football play, to make sure the play was carried out to fruition. So the same should happen within Portsmouth. You can visit other cities. There's no shame in saying, hey, I want to see how you all do it. I want to see how things function here. You can learn a lot. You should always continue to learn, especially if you see that you're lagging in one particular area. You can learn a lot from cities that are doing it well, and you can see the things that you're already doing great. So it doesn't always have to be a negative, but you can pick up good attributes and kind of figure out like, oh, they do this. It's a whole lot smoother and it saves on a lot less time. And our council meetings don't have to last 3 hours. We can actually do this in a hour and 15 minutes or hour and 30 minutes and get out of here, go home, and actually get to making things happen. So yeah, you can learn a lot from other cities and other council members and other city leaders. You get ideas, you get fresh ideas. You're not going to learn anything. You're not going to learn everything by sitting at home or sitting within your council chambers, because you will think that you know everything. You do not know everything. You learn things from communicating with people and talking to people and finding out what they do different. And let me say this, not to just harp on this question, and I appreciate the question, but you can learn things from other states. Look at Charlotte. Charlotte is booming. It is a phenomenal city. People are flocking to that city. Look at Atlanta. Look at those cities. So when you look at those attributes, how they did it and how they changed within a matter of 20 years, we can implement a lot of those things. A lot of those cities are fresh, they're young, they're happening, and they're doing it with just by working together. You see building happening, and the same can happen here in Portsmouth. We have the infrastructure, we have the empty buildings, we have all of that stuff. We can do it too. So you can learn a lot from visiting other cities and talking to those city leaders and saying, tell me how you started. Give me 5 things that you suggest that we should do just to get started. And I'm going to circle back and let you know what we implemented, and let's see what we can do to tweak it. And let's see if we're on the right track. Just because a lot of people are, they're adults or over 40, 50, you can still have a mentor. It does not put you down by saying, I picked up a mentor in my 40s, 50s, or 60s. Yes, you can take a mentor, and yes, you can learn from other cities, and yes, you can learn from other people in other cities. It's okay.
Yeah, and I want to shout out to Philip Jones over there in Newport News. Pretty good leadership for a youngster, if you will.
Yes, they're doing phenomenal, young or not. Hey, learn from people. It doesn't matter. They're doing it, and they're doing it well. So I commend them. So people can learn from people. It just because they're younger, it doesn't mean that, you can't learn from them. They're doing something great, and they're getting it right. And Portsmouth can do the same thing. They pray before they start their meetings, and you don't hear that discontent from the citizens that are coming up to speak. People seem satisfied, and they compliment them. They're doing a really good job, and they're growing. I want to see Portsmouth grow. I don't want to hear about bickering. It's wasting time. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to fight. I want to see stuff done. Let's fight to get some stuff done. If you want to fight to get it done. And then let's hug. Move on.
Now, I admit I moved from Virginia Beach in 2022. And 2020, I ran for city council.
Okay.
And then my top plank that I wanted to achieve was improve transit to the point of rapid bus transit. And that is something that would have had to have gone through HRT anyway in a regional effort. So I would have had to have been speaking out with Portsmouth leaders and Norfolk and Chesapeake and Hampton and Newport News. What are your thoughts on just transit, public transit? Where do you see it's lacking, and where do you think you might help improve it?
It would be nice to have more public transit, because I travel and I see it in other cities, and it makes things so much more efficient. I drive a car, but when I get to other cities, it's something refreshing about just relaxing and getting out on the weekends and getting on the train, and it taking you from trip to trip and then hopping back on the train. Or it's just even Ubering, or even just having things in close proximity where you want to walk and you want to leave your car. It makes you get out and walk, and it makes people more mobile, and it keeps you healthier. So yeah, public transportation, it does need to improve, especially here in Hampton Roads. We're lagging behind. A lot of people, and they may see it as, I have a car, I don't really care about public transportation. But if we had a serious thought about public transportation, it would help people with their jobs, because they'll be able to get to and fro. I have to tell you, if I could tell you how many guys that I pick up to take to work from their houses, a lot of times I will have 4 guys in my pickup truck. So I'm picking up a lot of guys because they don't have transportation and they want to work. They really do want to work, but they don't have a means of getting there. Or if they get on the bus, it may take them an hour and 30 minutes to get to the location. So it kind of it's a poor start before you even get to work. If it takes you an hour and a half to get there and then you have another hour and a half back, it's a poor start, and it makes it really discourages people. So they really have to think about that seriously as far as public transportation, because a lot of people don't have the assumptions of what other people have. It would seriously help to have a better busing system, or even a train system that didn't stop at Newtown Road. What are you going to do when you get to Newtown Road? You're just going to stop. You can't get down to the beach. You can't get over to Chesapeake. You can't get deeper into Norfolk. So no, and I know we had that opportunity, what was it, maybe 10 years ago or something like that, 15 years ago, to expand it. And I think it needs to be revisited, because I know people want to keep things the way that they are, but it increases tourism. It encourages people to get out, park their cars, and see places they would not have considered seeing, because they're seeing it on the way as they're on the train. So it encourages tourism, and it brings money to all of the cities, not just one city, but it encourages tourism throughout all of the cities, and it keeps us connected.
Mm-hmm. Now, I moved from Virginia Beach, but kept my Virginia Beach job, which is
Okay.
for Parks and Rec in the city of Virginia Beach, which still do. I did it today.
Mm-hmm.
But as being a Portsmouth homeowner, I got to travel to and from Virginia Beach every single weekday. And that has a bit of a triad that is of things that weigh me down economically.
Mm-hmm.
Highest real estate tax in the sub 57 is in Portsmouth, about 1.3 per $100 of real estate assessment. The tolls to get to and from my work, and the fact that I've applied for jobs in Portsmouth as well. It seems to be just as harder, or not harder, to get a Portsmouth job that would allow me to be on the level I was doing in Virginia Beach, but just at home, so I don't have to travel as much.
Mm-hmm.
What is your thoughts on that particular triad? How would you like to address that?
It would be phenomenal if we were able to get rid of the tolls or reduce it permanently. Because I got to tell you, it discourages people from coming to Portsmouth. It really does. People can say it may not affect people, or we've given people a break. But okay, if you give people a break, you still don't give people a break that live in Virginia Beach and that are trying to come to Portsmouth. I've had people to say, no, I don't have an easy pass. I can't come to your house. Or can you come to my house? They don't want to come here. So we miss out on a lot of business. It's almost like we've been disabled or handicapped because we have that toll, and it really cripples us. It cripples our economy. And it's not fair to do that on a city that is trying to grow. You really put us the tolls put us at a disadvantage. So that really needs to be readdressed, because it is really hard for us to grow with the tolls. There's so many people that I've heard that people say, I go all the way around. How many times do you want to go all the way around before you're just like, no, I don't want to go to Portsmouth. I don't want to pay that toll. So yeah, it does need to be
a high-rise bridge all the time. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot on a family. It is another bill. Everyone who lives in Portsmouth, you literally pay another bill just for the tolls. And a lot of people don't consider that. You are paying another bill to live here. So if you live here, you must love it, because you pick up another bill by going through those tunnels back and forth. And sometimes you can end up going through 4 times in one day. So yeah, it's a lot on a family. It is an extra bill. So yeah, it really does need to be readdressed.
And what are your thoughts on the real estate taxes?
Real estate taxes? Mm-hmm. Well, I got to tell you this. We have to bring more business to Portsmouth, so we can reduce the real estate taxes. Norfolk just did it. They were addressing, I don't know if it came into play yet, but they were considering reducing the real estate taxes. If another city can reduce taxes instead of raising taxes because they're making more money, Portsmouth can do the same. So we have to encourage business and encourage development so we can get that income and get those funds from another entity so we can reduce those taxes and it's not so much as a burden. I lived in Virginia Beach just like you, and I moved to Portsmouth because, like I said, I had a love for Portsmouth. There was nothing wrong with Virginia Beach. I loved it, but I loved Portsmouth. And Conrad, my taxes were lower and I had more things available, more facilities. And it was just more things available. And again, I paid less in taxes. So you shouldn't be paying more in taxes and getting less. So yeah, we have to encourage businesses and developments so we can get that money from elsewhere to reduce the taxes. That's a burden on us.
Yeah, just compared to Virginia Beach again, that's 33 cents more is Portsmouth than
Yeah,
Virginia Beach is right now.
yeah,
Just anecdotes, I guess.
yeah.
Now, you'd be a new face on
Hmm.
council, and
Hmm.
council and city leadership has been a bit of a feisty bunch with high
Hmm.
turnover.
Hmm.
How will you strengthen city leadership?
I gotta tell you, I'm a Christian. I come with love. You can't stop me from doing that. I don't care what other type of bullying or whatever they are used to. You have to get unused to it because you can't make me not be happy and not want to work with people. I'm gonna love bomb you. I'm sorry, but no, we are not gonna do that. No, you're not. If you want to walk out mad or no, you need to come back because when I come back, I'm going to pretend like nothing happened. You're going to have to get over it. You're an adult and you'll be fine. You need to get over it. And we have to work this through. We don't have time for bickering or, I'm not happy with someone. Talk it out. You're an adult. The majority of the people trying to be on council have kids. And what they would tell their kids, talk it out, get over it. You're not going to wake up the next day and you're still mad. Do the same thing that you tell your child, tell it to the other council member. We're going to get over it and we're going to work through this. And you need to compromise, get over it and compromise and stop the silly attacks because the silly attacks come off childish and they come off immature. And again, it makes people laugh at us and it makes people not take Portsmouth serious. So I don't want to see that. I don't want to be a part of that. And I'm not going to be a part of that. Like I said, what I saw some of the council members this morning. And when I saw them, I said, hey, and I said, give me a hug. And I said, wait a minute. Did I say good morning to you? Because I want to make sure, number one, and this could be a Southern thing, but you need to say good morning. You need to open up your mouth and say good morning. You get up, say good morning. And I said, wait a minute, did I say good morning to you? Because I was talking to someone and I was holding my phone and I wanted to make sure I said it. So yeah, they're my competitors, but say good morning. You can give a hug. It is not going to hurt you. Okay. And again, compromise. It's not going to hurt you. You're not going to get everything you want. You can fight for things and you can encourage them to be on your side. You are not going to get everything that you want, but you have to be okay with compromising and not sulking or not getting mad. You will be fine. Work on something else. Okay, I gave you this. Now give me that. You know you got that. So let's go ahead and try to get this into play. Let's compromise and let's work because again, it's all for Portsmouth and it's all going to make Portsmouth better.
What's your opinion on Portsmouth schools and how would you like to help them um, improve? And especially considering you're going to be a vote for their overall budget.
Mhm. And I got to tell you, I would love to say that everything is sunshine and roses, but I'm not. I can't sing that song and I can't go with that saying everything is so great. We're doing this. No, it's not. Portsmouth, it lags behind academically. And I appreciate all of the efforts, but when I hear schools are unaccredited, you're not doing well. So you can't sugarcoat that and say, "Oh, we're doing this and we're doing that." And I'm sure you're striving for that. I'm not gonna give anybody an E for effort. But you have to put things have to come into play and you have to see some type of improvement. So no, come school spirit, Portsmouth has it. You cannot challenge us on school spirit. You can't challenge us on the love for Norcom and Manor. You cannot challenge Portsmouth on that. But when it comes to academics, Portsmouth falls behind and it needs to improve. If you do not improve the academics, then you're not going to have people that want to come live in Portsmouth. So that school spirit, when I see majorettes and I see that pageantry, ooh, I love it. That is one of the things I love about Portsmouth. But that is not going to want someone to leave Virginia Beach and bring their child over to Portsmouth and enter them into our schools. We have to think clear and get out of that fog of we're okay, we're fine. No, we're not. No, it needs to improve. You have to improve academically to compete, or you won't get those people. They'll come here reluctantly, or okay, I just did it. Okay, or I did something. No, no, you should want them to have a desire to bring their children here and be proud of it and know that they're flourishing and not try to make a plan of escape to another city. I want to plan an escape and come to this city.
I hope you don't mind a little bit of a backtrack because a friend of mine just tapped in from YouTube. Nick, who has helped me out in the community action team 757 Battle Cats. And one issue that we're pretty big and focused on, of course, is gun violence. I did mention it earlier, but she might not have been watching at that point. So would you like to just rehash a little bit about your thoughts about city gun violence?
In reference to gun violence, I already mentioned about holding those people accountable for the actions that they take. But we've already touched on that. So I really don't want to reiterate what we've already said, because some people have already heard that. And I mentioned that, of course, the job of the Commonwealth Attorney is to hold those people accountable so you don't fall victim to it yourself or your family member falls victim to it. But you have to start early. You have to start with your children. You have to start with the kids in the street. You have to start talking to them and letting them know that it's not okay. It's silly. You're carrying a gun, you're thinking about shooting someone, or you're thinking about following up with violence, not just a fight, but you're thinking about actually maiming someone. Are you kidding me? So no, we have to talk to our kids. And if it's not your child, if it's a cousin, talk to the cousin. If it's not the cousin, if it's your grandchild, talk to that grandchild. If they need some type of therapy to work them through, let them work through that, because it can grow into something else. So yeah, start with the children so they don't end up becoming a violent adult or thinking their only recourse is violence or is a gun. They'll think, you know what? No, I'm not doing that. I got too much to lose. No, 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 no. You're not going to catch me with a felony. No, because I'm trying to do this. So no, I'm not going to do that. So when they think about the consequences of their actions and where they're trying to go, a lot of people will rethink, no, I'm not doing that. So showing people what possibilities are and just talking to children younger, even adults, again, sometimes you think people have that maturity level, but they don't. People need to talk, people need to be talked to about better choices and giving them better options. And a lot of times, if you're in an area where you don't have much to lose, you're like, some people thinking, what else I got to lose? I'm already living here. I'm not making enough money. Yeah, when businesses are growing and things are thriving, people are like, no, I have a family now. I don't want to do that. No, I have a young child. No, I was thinking about getting in a fight. Well, I was thinking about following up with that guy, but no, I'm going to roll up my window. Not that serious today. No. Yeah, so when people have better options, they make better choices. And it has to start early. And even with adults, you think they have that maturity level, but yeah, people need to have better options and things to look forward to, and they won't think of the latter.
Yeah, and so I'll just remind her just to tap back in at the start of the video, rewatch it, and we'll go a little bit deeper on that one. I am a parks employee in Virginia Beach, and I was there the night earlier this year when they brought up collective bargaining, and it failed 5-1. Portsmouth, though, is a city where it did proceed and has passed. What are your thoughts on municipal city employee collective bargaining here in Portsmouth?
I gotta tell you, employees work hard. They deserve everything that they can get so we can keep them. I gotta tell you, Conrad, I hear some people that leave and go to other cities, or they just want a little bit more money or just a little more pay. I don't want to see good people leave and go to other cities. I want to see people stay here. I don't want to see people take another job because they couldn't get that 3% raise, 5% raise, 10% raise. Things are expensive. So yeah, I think people should be compensated for what they're worth and what they're doing for the city, or they're not going to want to do a good job. They're going to want to go to another city. So yes, they have to be compensated, and compensated fairly and seriously. We compensate others. There's others in other departments and other positions, and they're compensated fairly. So yeah, city workers, and yeah, they need to be compensated. So they want to get up and do a good job for the city that they're coming to work for.
Now, here's another economic topic. We just have this new Rivers Casino here in
Mhm.
Portsmouth. It's doing big things,
Mhm.
but Norfolk's about to get theirs, and
Mhm.
that's going to be direct competition with
Mhm.
Portsmouth as well. So, how do you have a vision on council for the next 10, maybe 15 years of economic expansion in Portsmouth?
Mhm. Okay, we can't stop them. And it goes back to what I said. One city does this, and another city is like, I'm going to do it too. I get it. You see another city making money, but it's a way that you can work together. But if they're going to do it, they're going to do it, and you can't stop it. So if they're going to do it, join them. We spent money on a brand. We spent money expanding the boardwalk. It's about triple the size of it was. So you have more room to walk and more room for activity. To be honest, the board what we had before was pretty, it was a really good size, but now is really expansive. So you can do so much with that boardwalk to join into what's happening over there in Norfolk. So, okay, they built a casino. So you build something on the water. So when people get on the ferry, they'll go over to Norfolk, they'll come back to Portsmouth, over to Norfolk, back to Portsmouth. Instead of having it, you go down there right now and it's pretty much dead. There's nothing happening. There's no activities. There's nothing on the water. You can have a quiet walk and that's it. Now you go down to DC and Maryland, it's lively. It's, oh my goodness, I got to get to work. I need to go home because it's so much activity and I have a job. Here, nothing. It crickets. You don't see anything. So yeah, they need to build up downtown Portsmouth and especially that boardwalk area. Again, I remember as a kid that we would go back and forth on the ferry. There was food, there was music, it was a band, it was all of these people and kids and cotton candy. And we would go back and forth between the two cities. So that was nice. That's great. We can still have that. But now you can have businesses, you can have developments. It's really attractive. And what newer cities are doing is businesses on the bottom and housing residential on the top. So you play at the bottom, you live on the top. And it encourages people to work, live, and play in the same area, instead of them drifting out to other cities. And I've mentioned it before, but I like to see the money spin around in Portsmouth about 5 times before it jumps out into another city. I don't want us to see us get paid in Portsmouth when we take our money over to Virginia Beach, get paid in Portsmouth when we take it over to Chesapeake. I'd like to see us get paid in Portsmouth, spend our money in Portsmouth, let it circle around here. And then if it goes outside, let it go outside. But let it spin around in Portsmouth first and then let it go over to Chesapeake or Virginia Beach. But let our restaurants get it first. Let our grocery stores get it first. I want to see things happen here in Portsmouth and make it attractive where young people want to come here and not go to other cities. So yeah, we have to develop that downtown area. It's available. We have the infrastructure. You can do it. I mean, having a jail down on waterfront property, is that really the smartest thing? No, no, it should be business down there. You should see boats pulling up to those boardwalks. Boats should be pulling up. You should hear music. If you go down to the harbor of Maryland, DC, and Virginia, which again, all of the cities are connected, you really can't tell. I'm sorry, states are connected. You really can't tell which state that you're in. We can do the same thing here. We have the water. We have the same thing. We just have to take advantage of it. I've watched those cities grow, different areas grow. We can do the same thing here. So yeah, we have to grow economically, especially downtown Portsmouth. It's just, we got to use what we have and we have it. And let me say this last thing. Chesapeake doesn't have any water. We have water. We have the advantage. We should be taking advantage of it. Come on. They are growing and they don't even have water. No, we should be taking advantage of it.
I will say another great proponent of trying to keep the dollars in the community
Hmm.
This gentleman right here, Mr. Malcolm X. So
Okay.
he was also a great proponent of keeping it in house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, for yourself, you're
Mhm.
in construction, if I believe so. Your
Mhm.
business it is. Can you touch on what your business is, what it does for Portsmouth, and how you're going to take that vision for housing in Portsmouth because it needs to be more affordable?
Okay, I got to tell you, that's one of my main priorities. I got to tell you, I love building houses and I love seeing developments come up. And I love walking through a brand new house. I got to tell you, I walk those houses probably 20 times up and down the stairs. So you can't tell me that your house isn't built perfectly. I'm going to walk your house probably 20, 25 times up and down the stairs, checking the studs. And I call it, what's funny, I call it the jump test. I'm going to jump all throughout your house on the subfloors to make sure everything is solid, because the house you get, I want to make sure it's a house that I would live in and it's a house up to my standards. I'm not going to give you anything I wasn't living in. So for Portsmouth, I want to see development in Portsmouth. That's exactly why I got on the Zoning Board of Appeals. It's called the BZA, because I was seeing things being turned down. And when I got inconsistent answers, for me, I was even turned down. I was told that you knew what you got when you purchased it. Okay, well, all right. I think we're all here for Portsmouth. So, yes, I did purchase this, but I want to develop in Portsmouth. So, my goal, especially on the board, is to make sure that people are not given a hard time with development. I want to see development in Portsmouth. I want to see growth in Portsmouth. So, when you come before the board, I want to make sure your stuff gets approved, especially if it's going to be great for Portsmouth. Yeah, I want to make sure we get it approved. I don't want to hear inconsistent answers. I don't want us to come up with contingency on this is what you have to do if you want to get this passed. No, stop that. Because it turns people off and it makes people not want to do business with Portsmouth. I want you to want to do business with Portsmouth. I want you to say, hey, I heard it's pretty easy, to get your permit, and it moves through the process, pretty swiftly. Builders talk, developers talk, especially if they've been given a hard time. If they've been given a hard time to get things passed, yeah, they passed a word on. I don't want to see that happen. So yeah, I want to see developments in Portsmouth. New constructions going on right now in Portsmouth. And when I see other guys building, yes, I encourage them, go hurry up, go buy some more, hurry up, improve this area. I want to see developments happen. So it's not just for me. No, I want to see them take off and flourish. When you take off and flourish, you are helping Portsmouth. You are bringing dollars. You're bringing families into Portsmouth. So leave them alone. Let them build. Don't hold them back. Tell them to hurry up. And that's what I tell them. Go ahead, hurry up. Go ahead and get another lot. Hurry up and go build Portsmouth.
And of course, this being about Portsmouth, this is where I want you to slip in and tell us everything that you like, love about Portsmouth, from restaurants to other businesses, community groups, everything that you made you want to come back and live in Portsmouth. What are those things?
Oh, I got to tell you, the first thing is, like I said before, is the almost the nostalgia. Is that, ooh, baby, how you doing? Is that warmth that I get that I really can't get from another city. It's just that even just going into the grocery store, how you doing, baby? It's that hey, good morning. It's that, it's a little more mellow, is a little slower, is a little more enduring, is a little more caring, so that I can't get that from another city. Again, I lived in Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is great. They have great facilities, but what I get from Portsmouth is almost like an unsaid love, unsaid caring, or we got you. And I like that. I like the fact of, hey, baby, you okay? All right, come on in, baby. I like that. I like that. It feels like a virtual hug when you're walking through, different stores or grocery stores. It's that caring feeling, and I like that. Restaurants, yeah, Portsmouth has restaurants. I would like to see more. I want to see some of the same things that I see at other cities and that I've seen out of town. Portsmouth has that opportunity for growth. We have great restaurants, but I don't want to see all burgers, fries, and things like that. I want to see some things that have fresh ingredients where you got a kava. Charlotte has a waffle. I want to see things with fresh ingredients so people have the opportunity to eat healthy, and they don't are not inundated with fried foods. That's great. I love it. I grew up on that, but I want to have the same thing that other cities have. I want to have it here in Portsmouth. So yeah, I just have a if I left Virginia Beach which had a lot great schools and all of that, it's something about the city that made me want to come back. It's a warmth that you can't get from anywhere else. So it's just it kind of is what it is, and I think most people who live here kind of know, and it's that settled feeling that it just feels good. It feels right.
Well, here's the last point that I'll put you on the spot here tonight
Mhm,
on SchezzWho.
mhm.
That is to give us your elevator pitch as to why you should be voted to City Council this November.
Okay. Well, okay. I wasn't prepared for this, but I have to say I am new. Um, I wasn't a kid that wanted to be in politics or wanted to be in a civic position. I simply have a love for Portsmouth. I met someone when I was I was working the grocery stores trying to get signatures, and she said, "What's next?" And I said, "Right now, I'm focused on Portsmouth." She said, "No, no, 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 no. But what's next?" And I don't want anybody to think that I think small, but right now I am thinking about Portsmouth, and that's why I'm doing it. I didn't need to do this in Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is doing well. I'm not needed there. It's here in Portsmouth where I really want to make something happen, and I really see better for Portsmouth. So I hope that I'm given the chance to bring a fresh perspective on doing things, on developments, and not being scared to say something because I don't know a bunch of people. No, I don't know a bunch of people. No, but I want to get stuff done, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But if you go against developing in Portsmouth, I will have a problem with it. So I want to see things done. We can do things amicably, and that's my intention. But yeah, I want to see Portsmouth grow. I want to be given that opportunity to push Portsmouth to its greatness. A lot of people may remember how Norfolk was years ago, like 20 years ago. It didn't have the best image. So, yeah, the same thing can happen for Portsmouth. We can grow, we can improve, and I want to be a part of that growth and that improvement. It can happen. I know it can happen, and I want to see it. I want to see it done. So I want to be a part of it, and I think we need to stop settling for everything's okay, everything's fine, it's good. No, do something different. If you don't do something different or vote for something different, you will get the same thing that you have right now. And again, I'm not saying that anybody's a villain, anyone's bad or has ill intentions for Portsmouth, but I want to see some change. That's it. I want to see something different. And I'm not saying some people did things with malice or intentions of not seeing Portsmouth improve, but it can be improvement. So we need to see improvement. So if you don't vote for something different, you won't get anything different. You will have the same thing that you've had before. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with the way things are, then vote the same. Then you're fine. But if you want to see something different, you have to do something different. You have to take a chance and actually do something different. And I've said before, if you keep voting for your sorors or your church members, I'm a Christian. I go to church and I love the Lord. But if you keep voting for people based on who your family knows or who you sit beside or who you pledged with, if you keep betting on that and that's it, then you will get the same thing. So vote for something different so you can get something different. You have to be a part of that change, and you have to do something different, or you can't go and complain if things stay the same and you see other cities rising and you're still sitting here. You're still in the same place.
Well, in that instance, I want to not only thank you for coming on, I want to give the
Thank
viewers
you.
one shot to look at a newportsmouth.com,
Thank
where you
you.
get to learn just a little bit more about meeting Miss Mia Phillips. Volunteer if you want to, and get a yard sign, perhaps donate, all of that on a newportsmouth.com. And of course, I want to thank you, Miss Phillips, for coming on tonight and
Thank
just
you.
sharing your mind about yourself and your vision for Portsmouth. It means a lot that you wanted to come do that. Thank you so much.
One more thing I'd like to say, we are going to have a rally at Yokes on Us on Portsmouth Boulevard, October the 19th at 12:30. Please come out and meet me. Say hi. I take highs and hugs. So yeah, come out and say hi and be a part of the rally. You can learn more about me. You can be a part of the civic process. So please come out, please support. If you want to donate. If you want to volunteer. I hit the grocery stores, I hit the streets because it gives me opportunity to meet people. So I'm on the streets and yeah, I have to meet people, but please come out October the 19th at 12:30, Yokes on Us. And that's on Portsmouth Boulevard, 62, I believe it's 6250, but it's Portsmouth Boulevard, Yokes on Us, right on the corner. And it's on Portsmouth Boulevard. So please come out to meet me.
We heard it here first. Viewers, go out to Yokes on Us on October 19th, as you said, to meet Miss Mia Phillips right before you go out and vote. And just have yourself a good time. It also sounds tasty. I love myself some eggs. So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
a good thing. But again, thank you for coming on SchezzWho tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Don't forget the Northern Lights are going on right now. So if you have a shot to look north, you might be able to see the Northern Lights tonight. Hope you have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Will, for coming on. Have a great one. Now, SchezzWho viewers, this has been a rather good episode. I'm having on Miss Mia Phillips running for City Council in Portsmouth. What I need you to do, of course, is to like the episode, subscribe to the channel, come back to the next one. Right now, I'm in the processes of booking a few Trump surrogates for my Why Vote Trump show, which I hope to have next week, followed soon after by the Why Vote Harris show, which I have those surrogates pretty much lined up. So make sure you guys are getting ready to watch that, and you'll all have it when you like and subscribe to SchezzWho. And we're going to have a fun time speaking about the national politics come next week. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time.